is the Real Health Podcast brought to you by Riordan Clinic. Our mission is to bring you the latest information and top experts in functional and integrative medicine to help you make informed decisions on your path to real health.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Ron Hunninghake, and we're having another Real Health Podcast today. And I'm really excited to have Caralyn Vessall,
yeah,
as my guest. And Caralyn is the inventor of Sufficient C, which our patients love. Sufficient C. And it's a form of vitamin C that it's a powder form, but it tastes good. What makes it taste so good, Caralyn?
So I love for everything that I use to taste good. And our little secret is a blend of, the lemon, the peach, and the way we've used our stevia, natural stevia, no erythritol, none of the additives. It's very pure. But the blend makes it very much like a peach lemonade. Mm-hmm. And people really enjoy it. And that keeps them on what we call the dietary supplement wagon. They're on it. They stay on it. We always say one sip and you'll be hooked, because it's true. Our customers are all very long-term.
It's got a nice tartness about it without being too tart. Sometimes straight vitamin C is a little too tart.
Exactly.
So this kind of moderates it and encourages people to use it again and again. And so tell me the story. Your mother what was the story about your mom?
So my mother was diagnosed with lung cancer, and I got very, very upset, as you can imagine.
Sure.
And just as concerning as her diagnosis was the fact that she was not going to be very open to alternative treatment. She just believed very strongly that if the treatment was effective, her traditional oncologist, who she trusted, would tell her about it. So clearly everything that I believed in, they would not be telling her. And I just had to sort of force her. So she was doing many of the things that are promoted by Riordan Clinic, but I had to be the cheerleader because she wouldn't see an alternative doctor. And I knew the value of vitamin C. And of course, I was suggesting IV vitamin C, which she was doing, but I knew that there was a true value to oral vitamin C. So the sheer amount of vitamin C she had to take, I knew she would never be open to it. As it's a pro-oxidant if it's IV, it's an antioxidant if it's oral. I knew she needed a lot. So I sort of played around with it, and I thought, if my mother will drink this, lots of people will drink it, because she was extremely particular. And she also had an issue with dehydration. So she was going through traditional chemotherapy as well as all the other drugs they were giving her. By nature, she was not a very thirsty person. I remember growing up, she rarely drank with meals. She rarely drank. So it was really hitting her hard when she was sick. She was in the hospital very often with dehydration. And I thought, oh my God, that we could certainly, address successfully without question. And then I just added the vitamin C to it. And of course, there's a lysine, bromelain, and a very special 96% pure green tea extract. We mixed it up and we did the Mikey test. I know a lot of people these days don't remember who Mikey was, the Life cereal Mikey commercial. If Mikey will have it, everybody will have it. And that's exactly how I felt with my mother. And she really did like it.
This is a really important point, and it's probably something that you don't know, but Linus Pauling was the famous two-time Nobel Prize winner who really brought vitamin C discovery to the masses, I guess you would say. And part of it is that when he found out that natural production of vitamin C did occur in, for example, goats. Goats will make, we humans, they say we only need 100 to maybe 150 milligrams a day. We probably need a lot more than that, but our ancestors were able to get that from eating plenty of fruits and vegetables. And so we would still want people to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, but the enzyme that makes vitamin C in the body for almost every creature doesn't happen with humans anymore. And so anyway, Pauling found that really high doses, orthomolecular doses of vitamin C was very helpful for just about any illness, any chronic infection, any chronic fatigue, obviously cancer, a number of different things. And he did research in Scotland where he, first of all, did IV vitamin C, 10 grams a day, continuous for 10 days. But the part that people forget is that he did switch his patients then to 2.5 grams 4 times a day. And that way they were able to continue using it. And he had some kind of a liquid form that people found very palatable. He showed that there was a 4 to 9 times improved survival from cancer in the people that did take the vitamin C and continued to take it on an ongoing basis. When he published that, no one believed him that things would get that much better. And so Mayo Clinic said, we're going to repeat the study. First of all, they didn't give any vitamin C IV. And then they were trying to give people 2,500 milligram capsules of vitamin C a day, for which a lot of people get diarrhea, upset stomach. And the likelihood is they didn't take what they were asked to take. And then when they analyzed the data, they didn't see any improvement in those cancer patients. So my point is, the bad taste of vitamin C may have screwed up the world's discovery of one of the best ways to control cancer and chronic infection. And so you have done a really good job, Caralyn, of creating a product that anyone and everyone, children, adults, older people, they can take this and not have to worry about a bad taste and not necessarily have a, do you ever get reports of diarrhea with this?
So yeah, you can certainly take sufficiency to bowel tolerance, and a lot of people do. We even suggest therapeutically, if you're having a virus, to certainly do that. You don't want it to continue. We always say drop down once that happens. We use the analogy, it's like filling a glass up with water. Once the water starts overflowing, you know that you've had enough. So yes, it definitely happens, but that's a good thing. The one thing we never get, issues of upset stomach, which
that's really good. So the average person, do you think they should be able to take a scoop or 2 twice a day? Or do you that's probably your recommended dose, isn't it? So,
piggybacking off of what you had just said, we know roughly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, about 150-pound animal makes about 15,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day in its body. And if you use that same analogy with human beings, you're looking at sufficiency 3 times a day, a little bit more maybe, just to keep yourself, the way you're, as if your body made it. Now, we acknowledge that vitamin C does come from other sources. So when we say, 15,000 milligrams a day, if you weigh 150 pounds, we're acknowledging that there's other contributing factors. It's not just sufficiency, but we also acknowledge that fruits and vegetables alone are never going to get you there.
Right.
So we always tell people to look at your whole picture, but we do go with the animal model, as we do believe that it's good to have your vitamin C, however you take it, whether it's sufficiency or anything else, to spread it out, because it doesn't stay with you. It's water soluble, and you have to keep up with it, unlike fat soluble vitamins.
Some people, don't really understand the orthomolecular concept of vitamin C, namely that, we can get by with 100 milligrams per day and not go into scurvy. But getting by is not really having optimal benefits. And in the world,
it's staying alive.
It's barely staying alive. But in the world we live in, it's stressful, it's toxic. The food supply is not what it used to be. Plants and vegetables, fruits and vegetables do not have the same amount of vitamin C that they had. And even if they did, it still probably wouldn't be enough. So I think the point that I think is really wonderful about your product is that people can take it and enjoy it and get the benefits and not have to struggle to take 15 or 20 capsules, and also not have to choke down. Straight vitamin C can be pretty tart. And so the likelihood of taking it is pretty slim. So,
Exactly.
so I think you've done a really good service for the world as the business growing. Are people discovering this?
We're so proud that from day one, it took off. It really, really did. People liked it. They told people about it. Our concept is a little bit different. We don't do stick packs because everybody's different. Everybody has a different just right dose. And we don't want to constrain anybody. And we also we're concerned about our carbon footprint. We don't want a lot of extra manufacturing excess. But we're very proud of the success of Sufficiency. It is very much appreciated.
And you've built on that. You've got, I see you've got Abundant B, and that's a good one. And then you're working on another one in terms of what's the glutenizzer? Go ahead.
The glutenizer was actually the second product that we created, Glutenizer Force Plus. And we acknowledge that a lot of people are gluten sensitive, they're dairy sensitive, they're very concerned, they try this, they try that. Nothing seems to really make them feel better. So we tell everybody, well, we acknowledge that you could be sensitive to any protein. And very often people are sensitive to more than one protein. We always say, if you know what that protein is, it's really better to avoid it. But sometimes people just don't know, or something sneaks into their diet, makes them very uncomfortable. And people do suffer with chronic indigestion that shows itself in many different ways. So we threw everything plus the kitchen sink at Glutenizer Force Plus. And of course, we added vitamin C as well, because it is very good for gut health. And it's very effective. This one is a kiwi strawberry. And people either use it right before they have a meal, right after they have a meal, during a meal, or therapeutically when they're having a digestive episode. So it's just very effective. It's very generously dosed. We made sure that there was a lot of every enzyme and that every vegan enzyme was in there.
There's an old saying that death begins in the colon, but I'm going to say health begins in the stomach, in the sense that what you're putting in and how much you're using can make a big difference in terms of your health and well-being and your immunity. So what kind of feedback do you get from people who use your products? What do they say they notice in terms of using these higher doses of B and vitamin C, et cetera?
Well, I just wanted to say Glutenizer Force Plus, I actually made that for my son. So he was having some he was so well, but he was just having rashes, and long story short, I made it for him and it was very successful with him. I played around with enzymes, capsules and things like that. So, but getting back to Abundant B, which I believe was your question, the response. So Glutenizer, we do very, very well. We actually sell bundles of 6 at a time because people like to stock up on it. But Abundant B is similar to Sufficiency in that we realized people do need a lot more B12, even though it's available in so much. Very often they need a lot more than what they're getting. So we really ramped that up. And we also ramped up the biotin because that's another water-soluble B vitamin that people need a lot of. So these are not the only B vitamins that people should be having. We just feel like they could take a lot more of those in conjunction with a nice B vitamin that they might already be taking, probably should be taking. And of course, we added vitamin C to that as well. So people love that. That's a pink lemonade. And all of our flavors are plant-based. They're all natural in the true sense of the word natural, and no additives.
There's about 50 to 70% of people walking around that have what's called a methylation disorder. And so methylation is a pathway within the body that if you have the genetic problems, you're not going to utilize B vitamins as well. And so one of the most important of the B vitamins is B12. And then you have people that are going vegan or they're cutting back on their meat. And so they are in danger of having a B12 deficiency, and it can have pretty significant consequences. So this is a really good way to stay ahead in that department.
And you can add it to sufficiency. So we tell people to get the 4,000 milligrams of vitamin C, excuse me, you could do 1 scoop of abundant B, 1 scoop of sufficient C. The flavor is really good, very much like Snapple, and very easy to take.
No, I think you've made good nutrition easy for people. I think many people say, I get so tired of swallowing pills, or it's too expensive, or but I kind of tell people, hey, if you think it's expensive, just get sick and end up in the hospital or end up on one of the new medications that are out there. You can spend a lot of money that way. So this is a good way to invest in your health and enjoy it at the same time.
I think enjoy is the key word. That was the impetus for what we do. And I have to say, we just love, this is driving me crazy, this thing, but we just love that it's been embraced by Riordan Clinic. It is really a feather in our cap that we share the label on sufficiency, and we tell everybody about Riordan, and you're all over our website.
Dr. Riordan used to say that vitamin C is the most interesting molecule in the world. And it's really true. It does so many different things for people. I mean, people think of it in terms of preventing colds. And so, of course, it is really important for your immune system. But it helps with the making of collagen. So you're less likely to have sprains. You're less likely to have arthritis. It's an antioxidant in general, so it protects your heart. Linus Pauling also did a bunch of research in terms of its vitamin C protecting against heart disease. All the viruses and infections that are out there, by taking vitamin C, you're keeping your immune system in good shape. It supports cortisol. So for the people that are constantly tired and having trouble getting started in the morning, vitamin C in the morning would be a really good way to boost their adrenal production of cortisol in a way that helps them reduce inflammation, but improves their energy and stamina. So there's just so many ways that this could help.
And our favorite is cholesterol.
Yes. Yeah.
And people really have a hard time grasping how vitamin C is going to lower their cholesterol, but I say it's the shutoff valve. And you want to lower your cholesterol, really go hard and heavy for a month on vitamin C and get a blood test.
Yeah, people don't know that a high cholesterol means that they're kind of in trouble and the body is trying to react to that trouble. And taking a medicine to lower cholesterol without fixing the antecedent issues is really kind of like going into you've got your red light on your dashboard, and you go in and the mechanic says, here's a piece of tape. Put this over the red light.
Exactly.
Feel better. Well, we want to get the problems that occur in the body, the toxicity, et cetera. We want to fix it. And so vitamin C does just that. It is the ultimate repair molecule for the body.
And really, cholesterol is a very good thing. You just don't want too much of it. You need it.
And you need it. Yeah. So if it comes down, it's because your body is making better use of it, not because you're lowering it artificially. Your body now has what it needs in order to do the work that it needs to do. So this is all really, really good stuff. And so have you personally benefited from your own product?
I'm going to be very honest. I know that I'm benefiting because I know what vitamin C does. But I haven't had an ailment that it's cured for me. We get calls and letters all the time. People are constantly telling us all the ways they've benefited from it. But I feel like it is a tremendous benefit, but I'm not going to lie and say, it did something. I don't recall having.
Well, maybe it's just that you've been so well, you haven't had anything that it had to fix. And so
I do try to stay on top of symptoms and things like that. So I am very self-aware that way. But no, I don't walk around saying, I'm the poster child for sufficiency.
Well, it's the best kind of medicine is preventative medicine.
Exactly.
I mean, anyone who's been ill knows that how bad it is, how bad they feel, and they wish they would have taken. I hear this all the time. I wish I would have taken better care of myself, doctor. Well, here's one way that you can do it in an enjoyable way in a way that's going to pay dividends in terms of your longevity. You're going to need to see the doctor less. You're going to feel better.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt, but the best way I benefited is how many times do you feel like something is coming on?
Yeah.
Honestly, I just drown it out with sufficiency. So, I mean, I've been told a lot. People have asked me, do you ever get sick? Rarely. I mean, it does happen. I mean, we've all had the COVID, the this, the that, but everything is very, thank God, very minimal. I don't really like to, say that too much, but we really go hard and heavy with vitamin C. Beyond what we normally take when we feel something.
This is a true story, and people will be amazed by this. Dr. Robert Cathcart was a friend of Dr. Riordan's that I met, and he was a big vitamin C guy. He actually was an orthopedic surgeon that invented some kind of hip replacement. He became independently wealthy and got out of medicine, but then got into testing more vitamin C. He actually worked at one of the colleges in California. He would have college students come in very, very sick with mono. I mean, like really sick. And he would tell them to take enough vitamin C until it actually caused some loose bowels. Well, guess what? They could take 5,000 milligrams an hour all day long without any diarrhea because their body was so dependent upon trying to fight this virus that it needed that much more.
Exactly.
So that's an important thing for the audience to know, is that if you're getting sick, if you're really tired, if you're really stressed, you may need more vitamin C, because in the animal, back to our animal model, they will make more vitamin C depending upon what they need to get over their particular illness. So this product is a good way to be able to take a scoop every hour or two if you have to, without having to down a whole bunch of capsules. So I think it's really a great way for people to stay well and to get well if they do get sick.
We do say that the sooner you reach bowel tolerance, the healthier you are. Depending on what's wrong, you could be consuming quite a lot. So this is a much easier way, and that is the original reason that we invented the product.
And these products fit well together. If you can digest better, you're going to get more nutrients from your food. If you use the Bs, the B12 one, you're going to get better methylation, which I won't go into that, but it helps so many systems of the body, especially cognitive. There are so many people that are stressed out these days, and the B vitamins really do help that with stress. And then, of course, vitamin C, which is the universal remedy. And so I think this is a very good combo of products that you've put together here.
Thank you so much.
So anyway, we wish you well. We'll continue to endorse you, our products. We don't have to endorse you because our patients tell us how much they love these. And so that's the key thing.
Thank you so much.
Well, you keep up the good work, and thank you for your contribution to health.
Thank you so much, and for having me really means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Real Health Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. You can also find all of the episodes and show notes over at realhealthpodcast.org. Also, be sure to visit riordanclinic.org, where you will find hundreds of videos and articles to help you create your own version of real health.